Now Robbie, trip, put your friends in the body. You can tell me that I ain't hot. They have a struggle trying to stop me. I'm moving like I'm Dr. Raindrops. So they tryna be my main thing. My heart is full of shit to let it go. We did loud in the shit day.
Like a good man, yo. Hit a good man behind bars, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles is mad.
Yeah.
Nervous?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing today? You know, I feel like it's only right to bring back the man, the one, the only, the relationship guru.
I don't know about that.
The nigga we made it. the brother that is one of, I can't say nothing but besides, if you know him, you believe in the audacity to hope. You know what I mean? There's certain fields in life that I don't have the prestige to enter, and you know, this is one of the brothers that did it. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, please, Calvin.
I like that. Yeah. No, I really like the NWO shirt though. Like the Wolfpack. Yeah, those are the days when wrestling was good. Good TV shows, good movies, good everything, man. I think we grew up in the best era of everything.
I 100% believe that.
Oh yeah.
I believe that acting's not acting, it's popularity.
Yeah. The reality TV shows, I can't stand them.
Yeah.
As much as I try to get into them, it's just too scripted for me. Can't get down with it.
And it's like, why bitch always gotta have an attitude? You know what I mean?
Why us black people always gotta be fighting?
Yeah.
And having animosity.
Yeah, like yo, where's the love at? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Where's the love at? I don't understand it. I be trying to move in love in the proper whatever you say that, but like there's a part of me that's like, how do you do that and guard yourself from the snakes and shit like that? And I don't know, but like I feel like I'm strong enough as a man to take a snake bite. I'm not a child no more. You know, you like
you should be at that age now that you can be able to take those punches and you know whatever comes your way and know how to handle those situations and how to move.
So please, Calvin. You know,
what would you like to know? What would you like for me to tell your audience and your subscribers?
Well, you know, I would like you to reintroduce yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, if y'all haven't already, click that like button.
Click the like button, yes. Let's see. I'd like for you to reintroduce yourself. You know what I mean? And if you had a message to the world, I'd like you to share it. You know?
Oh, okay. Well, of course, Kelvin Johnson. Like I said, you know that's one of the things I'm terrible at introducing myself. But what do you want to know, man? like that is the worst thing. Like even on job interviews when they're like, "Tell me about yourself." That's like, please don't ask me that question because I don't know. Like I literally have to, like we were just talking about scripting. I literally have to script that for like an hour or two or even days because I know that question is coming. Like other than that, after the ice is broken, we're good. But like that initial introduction, it's terrible.
Well, you killed it the last show.
Did I?
You did. You killed it. You killed it. You made. I probably had like 62 phone calls.
Okay.
You know, I actually like, yo, okay, what you bugging me about? Oh, I see the show. You know,
Like, and it's so funny you say that because, like, I sent the link for people to listen to, and people instantly called me back and was just like, they were speechless. Like, they were like, that was a really good segment, and they were like, you need your own podcast.
Yes.
And they said that you and I, we fed off of each other perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah. So
my goal, right, is to have 10 black men with different perspectives.
okay.
With different perspectives. Have their own YouTube channel. And we all hop on each other's lives and just like talk as men. You know what I mean? As you know, like, yo, listen, okay, I understand you don't understand. You don't agree with this, but like, yo, just understand that this move I'm making here, it's still pushing us forward whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? Because I do believe that, you know, the black men that are trying to push our kind forward is not being seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want no rapper represent me. You know what I mean?
No.
And you know, so and I look at you and I say, you know, like white collar, blue collar. You know, I'm the one to get the hands dirty. You know what I mean?
But believe it or not, I used to get my hands dirty and stuff too. Like, that's a hard one to believe, but you know, we all struggle at one point, and we all have to start somewhere, because it's not one of them scenarios that you just up and wake up one morning and just say, hey, you're gonna be white collar worker. I see potential in you. Now, like, you gotta, you know, when growing up, you know, I never understood what my granddaddy would say when he was saying that, you know, you got to pay your dues, you know, start off small, you know, you have all these big dreams, but how are you going to get there? And, you know, it's just like, you know, people who are successful, you know, you see the outside of it. It's just like a glacier. I can't remember where I saw that. It was like on LinkedIn or something. They talked about how smooth it is on the outside of the surface that you can see, but you don't see the rough patches at the bottom of how it took to get there.
Yeah.
Now, me, I probably could write a novel on, you know, just how I came about, because a lot of where I'm at now, like, people don't know, like, at one point, I was high. I was very successful, but I was unhappy. And that's another story for another day. And I fell off. I fell off my pedestal. Like I said, a lot of factors played into that. And that needed to happen because, believe it or not, my ego had gotten away. It was a combination of ego, a combination of unhappiness, a combination of trying to please others and not pleasing myself. So it was a scenario that, you know, I had to fall so I could have a reality check, and then I had to take all the steps necessary to get where I'm at today. So it wasn't an easy feat. You know, sometimes I sit and think, if I had to do it all over again, would I? Some instances, no. Some instances, yes. But like I said, like we talked prior in our other interviews and stuff, like, if I could be a inspiration, you know, to others, particularly black men, you know, and keep them out the, you know, legal system and stuff, you know, I'm about it.
Yeah, you know what? You said so much, and there's a part of me that's like, yo, because, you know, I agree with that. When I was at my most successful, you know, and I'm like, yo, wait, let me take a minute to whatever, you know, take it all in. I was happy, but I didn't realize it. You know what I mean? Because I was like, yo, I'm so busy. Yo, I gotta put these hours in here. Yo, I gotta make sure this gets sent at the right time here. Yo, I gotta put this together over here, and I wasn't actually happy. You know what I'm saying? And like, don't get me wrong, the money's great. You know what I'm saying? The money is like, oh shit. You know, and so I would definitely agree to that notion. You know what I mean? Because that was like the most successful time in my life, you know, times, you know what I mean? And I'm still going through that era now, I wasn't a genuine person. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You
You couldn't have said it no better than that. Exactly. Like when I was going through my successes, when I had all the success in the world, like I said, my ego was in the way. Like it was one of those scenarios where no matter what I did, you know, I could get away with shit. People actually catered, you know, to me to make sure that, you know, other agendas were fulfilled and stuff. So I pretty much had leeway to do what the fuck I want. So I got to that point, my head blew up. I was like, do whatever the hell I want. Like, nobody can tell me what to do. Woo. And then one of the most famous things.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is that a good feeling?
Damn, why you had to ask that? Why you had to ask
that? Keep it real.
While you're on that high is one of the best feelings in the world. But then, you know, somewhere in between, and I didn't think about it at the time because, like I said, I was an arrogant ass motherfucker. I didn't give a fuck about people. I just cared about my own selfish agenda. You don't think about everybody that it affects and everybody it hurts in the process of you trying to get to where the fuck you want to be.
You know, I had 2 revelations, and I agree with you because I had 2 revelations, and it's always the, hey, you left me. And you know, I think once you get to a certain age, if you're like, nobody's life's perfect, we'll all have abandonment issues. But you know, and I learned, like, I don't know how to deal with that now. Like you understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, hey, listen, hey, this is my journey. You either a part of it or not. And if you're not a part of it, if you're only a part of it for 10 minutes or 10 days or 2 years, I look at that and say, yo, thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, thank you for all the lessons and blessings that you put in my life. But to say that I abandoned you, you know what I mean? It's like that I leave you in a situation where I took out a certain type of investment that you put in, and you know, like I kind of like, it's hard because I want brothers to grow.
Yeah.
But I don't want brothers to grow into the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, and I'm trying to find out, and I'm 40 something years old, and I'm still trying to find out, like, yo, hey, at what point, you know, because like other brothers that I associate with, and I look at their success and I try to model after, they be like, yo, hey, man, you're letting these people stop you. You're letting yourself stop you by entertaining this bullshit and this and that. And they look at it as bullshit, but to me, I look at it like, yo, you know what, man? I remember when I was that broke dude in the cell, I didn't have a suit. You know what I mean? I went 2 days eating rice with fucking bugs in it. You know what I mean? And that was the friend that was like, yo, listen, hey, yo, you're not going to go 3 days without something extra. How do you know, in our transition to growth, right? How do we like, because I feel like you're farther in life than me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that, but go ahead.
Well, you know, okay.
Don't get me wrong. You know, it might. You know, it's so funny because I hear it work all the time. Like, I don't even like to use the term bosses anymore because, like, in my team, amongst my product manager teams, I'll say our leader always tells me that, like, when stuff goes wrong at work where I work at, and I tell him about stuff that goes on, he says, always remember, perception is everything. You know, even if people see one thing, they perceive it to be how it is, even though that may not be the way that it really is, if that makes sense. So,
perception is everything. Do you think perception is controlled though? Like you know, you like, okay, from the outside looking in, right? I'm a blue collar worker, so I'm the type of dude that you say, hey, Frank, man, this machine is going to be a bitch today. I'm gonna get you to work it, right? Because I know that, you know, Frank, you're the shit. You know what I mean? but at the same time, I always try to think what would I do if I was in the boss's situation or the supervisor's situation, and like, do you like try to like not manipulate but like navigate one track thinking?
I think being
Is that harder?
that's the thing. Being in a leadership role, you can't think one track.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think every possible scenario out. As far as manipulating a person, whew. Well,
Okay.
I guess good leadership is kind of manipulation. If you can get a person to do what you want them to do to achieve a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you can call it a positive manipulation if you wanted to. But I feel like, in a leadership role, you have to have some sort of ability to manipulate a person to do what you want them to do. You know, to get the goal done for the day. Mm-hmm. Because you know what happens if you don't. You know, if they don't reach that target. I mean, as much as I hated to do it, you know, like write-ups, I never believed in write-ups. And that's one of the reasons why I got out of being a supervisor, because I always felt like I'm not going to write a grown-ass person up, you know, even though they should be disciplined. Like, that just wasn't me. And like, I remember having other like people in leadership, like superintendents and stuff, you know what, they pretty much told me that I was the weak link because I didn't believe in writing people up and stuff. And I was just like, nah, I don't believe that. I say, if anything, I think you're the weak leader because you believe in fucking bullying people to get, you know, points, to get, you know, work done, or to get production out of an individual. Where I wasn't like that. Like, I always felt like if you were a leader, you had to inspire and motivate. And that's what I always tried to do. Was it difficult at times? Yeah. In any production facility, manufacturing environment, it's tough to motivate. Because like I said, I started off at the bottom. Believe it or not, I started off when I fell. Go ahead.
Okay. There's from a blue collar perspective, and I feel like, do you know how most people feel about a write-up? How dare he?
Yeah. And here's the thing about write-ups, right? And another reason why I had to get out of being a supervisor, because one of the main things as a leader, you want to develop, you just don't want your team to think that you just care about them on a work type basis. Like, you want to actually develop a relationship with them, you know, even outside of work, to let them know that you care for them as a person and not just a worker. So one of the tough things it's just like, you know, they say don't mix business with pleasure. And in a sense, that's what it is. Because let's just say, you know, me and you are kicking it, you know, we hang out outside of work and stuff, and we leave it at that, but when we go to work, we're strictly business. But then let's just say Frank effed up on the machines or something, and I had to discipline Frank. And then Frank gets to feeling some type of way about me, and then, you know, in his feelings and stuff, and then, you know, he starts, you know, parading that, oh yeah, we went out, we did this, we did that to other management, and then, you know, you start telling stuff that me and you talked about.
I'm not going to say snitching. I'm going to say
whistleblowing. Whistleblowing. We can say whistleblowing about stuff at work that we talked about. Like, we may have been talking about another individual, or we might have just, you know, slid something underneath the rug because they got upset because of that write-up. And I think that's one of the things with being a leader. Well, like you said, being a leader and also being someone that works under that leader, you know, team members and stuff, is knowing how to balance it out, and just to understand that it's not personal, it's business. Because, you know, it should be a situation like, hell, just like in professional sports, you know, you lose a game, you get blown out by 20, you miss the last shot. Hell, okay, that was business. Okay, we can go and fucking hang out and have a good time and stuff and not think nothing more about it. So I think in the workplace, especially in the production type facility, I think people have a hard time balancing the business perspective of it from hanging out outside of work.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
See, I kind of believe it's all about character. Let's just say you was to write me up, right? And this write-up consists of, not termination, but let's just say 3-day suspension. Who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe that no matter what we did before then, if I look at you as and I look at this write-up and I say, oh, okay, this Calvin, a supervisor, snake ass dude, snake ass write up. I believe that if I go to another supervisor or somebody above your head, me personally, I believe that, yo, you know, and we chilled after work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We chilled after work, after business hours,
yeah.
you know what I mean? That means I gave you my time for free, you know what I mean? You gave me your time for free, so it's valued. I believe 100% solely that like if I was to do that, I'm a snake. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I think that's. Go ahead.
You know, I you know, and this is not unless because if we chill and then I'm like, and because I understand the heat is on when the heat is on. You know what I mean? And I understand, yo. Sometimes in life you gotta take the punch and you gotta learn how to deal with that punch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so and how you deal with a punch to me me specifically really is how I would look at you. I don't care, like, let's just say, you know, you got a Benz or whatever. I don't care about that. I want to know how you deal with a punch before I give you my free time.
Yeah.
Or continue to give you my free time. I might be inspired to get a Benz because you got a Benz, but like I would never like say, oh man, this guy Calvin done wrote me up and he done took away my dreams of getting a Benz because now I got 3 days suspension and whatever and all this other shit. I would look at it like, yo man, hey, all right, I'm gonna take this hit. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You know, if next time we chill, I'm gonna tell him like, yo, hey,
exactly.
If it was whether it was fair or unfair, he's gonna know that.
Yeah.
If it was fair, I'm gonna have to take that hit and be like, yo, you know what, you got that. You know, shake hands and all that. If it's unfair, it's like, yo, brother, you know what I mean? You know, hey, yo, listen, that was not right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Jay-Z said this verse. You know, I'm gonna show you how to move in a room full of vultures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do this for my culture.
Yeah.
I'm showing how to move in a room full of vultures. And you know, me personally, that's how I step out and work with. Like, yo, listen, man. At the end of the day, one thing is to be a hardworking black man. You know what I mean? And but to get my money's worth, I'm not working for free. I'm not working for cheap. I'm not doing all this other shit. So when write-ups and stuff like that occur, and you see it like, dang, you know what? Let's just say Frank did do some music shit. Like, oh well, you know what? You know, he wrote me up for breaking the machine. Even though it was negligence on my part. Let me say, hey, yo, you know what? Me and Calvin had. You know he drinks, right? We had 2 Heineken like that. To me, that would be like.
I think that's childish right there.
Sneakish.
Yeah, it is very much so. Like I always feel like if you
how do you manage it? Like, because you still have to work with Frank. You know what I mean? Well, not me, but you still have to work with somebody that deal with this. See, because in a real life, in my lifespan, I could say, hey, you know what? I don't want to work with you no more. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm just a worker. You know what I mean? And, like, you know, and depending on my work attributes, I can say, you know what, man? I don't value this company no more and just go work somewhere else. But you're, like, in a leadership position.
Yeah.
So, now how will you not manipulate, but navigate to get that person back on page?
One of the things that you have to do is 2 things. Let them know what your expectations are from the jump.
Okay.
And keep reiterating that so everybody knows. And then consistency. Because in so many times in production, you know, the saying is consistently inconsistent. And anybody in leadership, especially in, I'm just talking about it again because it's something we're familiar with, in a production setting. Anybody in leadership, let's just say supervisor, whatever, if they say they don't have a favorite, they're lying. And the favorite doesn't even necessarily have to be like, okay, I favor this person over that person just because they this, that, and the other, and we had great conversation. They could favor that person because they're a good problem solver, and they know if stuff goes wrong, they know they can rely on that individual. And even still, like even if that individual does something wrong, if it comes to the scenario where you have to discipline him the same, or her the same way that you discipline everybody else, because you best better believe everybody is watching to make sure that that person is, that you're consistent with what you say that you're going to do, because the minute that you don't, that's when you lose the respect of your team, and then people start talking, and that's how it gets the other leadership members and stuff that way.
Now, black man to black man, right?
Okay.
You know? I want to say this right. We are, when it comes to jobs or careers, that we both can co-sign this, I believe. Produce an income that is above average America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like in that position, right, of supervisor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do you? Does it burn a little bit more? Does it? Do you feel like, yo, hey, I have to be more harder on this guy because I want this guy to be like, because he's black, he has to get it harder in life because he has to achieve more, because I want him to achieve more and not short himself out because I believe he can be better, or she can be better. Like when it comes to the discipline and it comes to the what you call them type of meetings, the with the supervisors and the reviews, do you feel like, hey, yo, this, I'm dealing with a black man, so let me, I can't deal for black man like I deal for Spanish man or a white man or an Asian man.
I believe it's truth behind that, only because black men are stigmatized so much. And black women too. I see it go through so much, but black men in particular, I feel like was stigmatized so much. So I feel like, in a sense, I've always felt like I had to be harder on black men, because I always saw, for one, I always felt like we're in a fishbowl. I've always felt like we were all, as black men, we will always be watched about everything that we did. Yeah. So it's just like when we're scrutinized on everything we do. Like, we could do a million things right, but that one thing we do wrong, that's what we're gonna get scrutinized for the most. So like with black men, let's just say in a production setting, if I see someone who's clowning around, not taking the job seriously, like me personally, I honestly would have a serious, one-on-one black man to black man talk with him, and I would tell him straight up, look, you fucking up. Like, you might not hear the people talking behind the walls and shit, but I do. I hear what the fuck they're saying. So I'm telling you, as a black man to another black man, and I shouldn't be telling you this, that you need to get your shit together. And I think so many times, especially with black men, I think they don't want to hear the truth. I think some that I've experienced, yes, it's 50-50, because I have a really good friend from college who I try to give it to him. Like, one of the things that people have always told me, they say I always mean well, but my deliverance and how I tell people is wrong. But I don't like to sugarcoat stuff. I like to tell you how it is straight up. And let's just say him, for instance, sometimes he doesn't know how to handle me being direct and upfront with him. So it's frustrating, because you're trying to tell him, what the scenario is, and how to maneuver and how to go about it. And you can if you want to say play the game too. But it's one of them situations that I always felt like, especially with the black men, because I'm the type of person, I want to see more people succeed more than I want to see myself. Particularly black men. Like, if I see a black person, especially a younger black person, and they're ambitious and they're, farther than me, shit, I'm all for it. I'm congratulating them like it's no jealousy with me at all. Like, I'm saying, okay, that's what's up. This is what the younger generation needs to see. Like, people in your position, in your age, moving ahead regardless of the barriers and stuff that we do face as black men, because we do face barriers in the career field. We all do.
Now, can I ask you a question? Yeah. You see, you're dropping jewels, and I like that. Okay. Because I feel like, okay, I want to say this right. at what, because I kind of felt like when those barriers was hitting me, and it's like, yo, if I deal with this way, can't be a proud black man. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, let's just say we're talking about income that's more than the average. You know what I mean? And we as black people are looked upon as the poorest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're talking. So now, most perspective. Or nigga, I gave you a chance, which is cool. You can have that perspective. You know what I mean? But there's a part of me that's like, yo, okay, I can do the work, but I can't do the politics. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna use a verse. Mama, why they calling me nigga? Get my weight up with my hate up and pay him back when I'm bigger. I still have that in me. Maybe I need some therapy. Maybe I just need to. Maybe I just could, but I can accept that as my reality. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? But it's hard for me because when the barriers, and I understand life is not fair for anybody.
No.
I understand that life is definitely not fair for us. You know what I mean? I used to, when I was a broke dude, I used to like hate on these people that made it to this level right now. And there's people on higher levels than me and shit. You know what I mean? And right now, me personally, I feel like, yo, I can make money anywhere. I can make money doing this. Oh, now I got the key to making money. So now it's like there's a part of me that's like, yo, but what? I look at my younger self, you know what I'm saying? And I say, hey, yo, I don't ever want to be that person that blocks my younger self. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how to. So, and there's a part of me that looks at me and say, hey, Frank, you are blocking your younger self by not taking on these positions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're not about opening the doors. You're just like, oh, well, no. I'm cool with being the best worker here in this position. Instead of saying, hey, yo, how do you... And I feel like with you, like you said, you was a worker before. And, you're blue-collar worker, now you're a white-collar worker. There has to been a transition. And I don't look at you as a sellout brother. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you... What are the conversations you say to yourself? Not to you say to other people, to say, hey, yo, you know what, man? I'm holding myself back by just working with my hands on this level when I could be.
That's great. I mean, oh my God, that's a great point that you brought up. Fear is a motherfucker. And you can get into your own head. And for the longest, I always felt like I got into my head. Perfect example. A lot of people don't know. After I got in trouble and stuff, I wound up working at a plant nursery, fucking working with plants, right? So one day, my homeboy told me, he said, you've gotten complacent on being here because he said you always said that you had goals and dreams of being bigger and you can see more out of yourself, but you done got to the point now that you done got complacent. I said, well, what do you mean? I didn't know what he was talking about. So he was like, when was the last time you actually searched for something? When was the last time you actually reached out to somebody and networked to somebody to get to where you wanted to be? When was the last time that you ever talked about going to school? Because I did a lot of things wrong and did a lot of things to being because of that fear to make me not pursue it. So what happened was, and it was somebody that me and him went to school with. We were out on the farm one day and he kept harassing me, white boy. And I was just like, look, man, just one of them days just kept fucking with me. I said, look, why are you fucking with me? Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And it got to the point, I cussed him out. I flipped out. I lost it. So then, and it was a family-run business. So everybody in the family knew everybody. So, of course, they were going to listen to the other person. So we went to the guy who ran the nursery. And he told him straight up, he was like, either you fire Kelvin or I'm done. And I told him, I was like, look, this man been harassing me for days now. And I said, today was to the boiling point. I said, I wasn't doing anything that was harming the business, harming my workers, or harming production. And I told him to leave me alone. And he kept picking. I said, to the point, I lost it. So we wound up leaving work. And this is the most, and I lost all respect for that guy that ran that facility that day when he fired me through text message. He fired me through fucking text message. I say, what kind of punk ass riffraff shit is fucking this? But then I thought back to what my homeboy said, and he told me straight up, he said this was a blessing in disguise, because from where I got comfortable and complacent with being where I was. So they forced my hand, and luckily, I said I started my own business. I went to detailing school in Pittsburgh while I was still on probation and stuff. So my PO had let me go, and I wound up getting my certification and stuff, and I wound up starting doing my own business, which was good. Like, it was successful. But the only thing was, like, in the wintertime and stuff, like, people just wasn't. It was me by myself, which I didn't mind, because if I could encourage black people in general to be entrepreneurs, I would say do it, because you have that freedom, and then, you know, to make your own hours, like to do something that you're passionate about doing, you show your creativity and make your own money and not have to, you know, answer to anybody. But with that said, the only reason I stopped and got into the white collar working environment was because I couldn't afford insurance. You know, that was the main thing, and that's what got me back in there. But yeah, man, I mean, it's
you want to share a story?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember we was at the he was like, Frank, you're doping everybody's buckets. He says, my line's running smooth. I said, I see people cursing out.
Oh, this is me and you? Okay.
I said, my line's running smooth. I got this. And then you came and watched, and you was like, Frank, you're flexing on 2 lines? And I was like, I got this. You know, because in my head, me as an individual, I say, hey, I don't want it easy. I never wanted it easy. You know, make it as hard. Break me. And if you can't break me, then I'm gonna break something. So then we had a conversation. He said, "Yo, you know what? All of a sudden, a guy comes up to me and said, hey, yo, listen, I'm gonna watch the line. The supervisor wants to talk to you." I was like, for real? I said, oh shit. And we had this conversation for like half an hour. And you said, Frank, you do not belong in this place. I said, what you mean? He was like, yo, you there's bigger and better things that's in your motherfucking head.
I forgot all about that conversation.
Yeah, there's bigger and better things that's in your head. And, you know, he said, but man, he said, you're a great worker, but you do not belong in this place. But to me, it was like, wow, I'm making the most money I ever made, this and that. You know, and like you said, like, you know, I that was the first taste of me being complacent, because I lost my jailhouse dreams. You know the dreams where you're at the lowest, and you start saying, okay, I can't make life better this way, but in the future I can make life better if I make this move and make that move. Yeah. And then it's like, you know, it was a genuineness to like, yo, how can we make everybody better? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so like I like that because, you know, that's also what helped inspire me to say, hey, yo, you know what, man? There's more money out there. Even though this is good money, there's a lot more money. Right. But let's take a quick break. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Is that cool? Yeah. Okay. You know, apologies.